What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So today's video was a suggestion from a viewer of mine, Vogel, who asked me if I could make a video about 3 ways to farm solo to obtain a WoW token. And I figured I would do 5 because I was working on the 3 of them, and then it turned into 4, and then I was like, might as well make it 5. So here is 5 different gold farms you can do to acquire a token solo, all steady gold. Before we take a look at that, though, do have to say a massive thank you for all the support on the 0 to 10 million gold guide. This is a digital guide that you open up on your computer, and it features all the best tactics and methods that I personally use in order to achieve hundreds of millions of gold. The best part about it is the fact that you only got to get it once, and once you have it, you're going to get every single update done to it for a lifetime completely for free. So that means with new patches, new expansions, I update the exact same guide and I send it to your email completely for free. So you can find that link down below in the description. Use the discount code STUDENT and you'll get it for 50% off. And just know that that discount code also works for the Mist of Pandaria Classic Gold Guide. So if you're playing Mob Classic, definitely make sure to check that one out as well. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is something that I featured recently, so I want to get that out of the way. In fact, I've talked about many of these farms many times, but the first one is a Dragonflight farm right here down in the Azshara span in the dungeon Brackenhide Hollow. Now, if you want to do that farm, you should have a tailoring because then you can spec into cloth, so you get more cloth when you farm it, and that is definitely gonna make or break the farm. Now, the farm itself is very simple. You just run the dungeon on normal mode, and you pull every single mob ahead of the first boss. Like, that's literally it. Run in normal mode. You can have super bad gear. Like the druid I'm doing it on right now is less than 600 item level. It doesn't matter, right? Any class as well. You just need tailoring. And by the way, it is super easy to get enough knowledge points in Dragonflight tailoring in order to do this farm. So even if you don't have tailoring, you just pick it up on whatever class has a profession slot available and then go ahead and do it. Now, in terms of gold per hour, like all of these farms are usually between 30,000 to 60,000 gold per hour. Really depends on the time that you're watching this video, if you're EU, NA, but that's roughly the estimate for most of these farms. So once you've killed all of the mobs, you run out, you reset the dungeon, and then you're good to go again. So very, very simple farm. And I know for a fact it's a lot of people's favorite farm to do. And since we're talking about higher level dungeons to farm, like we gotta get this one out of the way as well. It is everyone's favorite farm that likes steady raw gold, or not raw gold, but steady gold in forms of materials. Instead of Dragonflight materials, you're gonna do Dark Flame Cleft in order to get like the cloth from War Within. Sell that. You use the follower dungeon farming method. I'm gonna link each individual farming down below in the description, but super easy. In this one, War Within tailoring, you queue up the Dark Flame Cleft, you kill these mobs in the first room, you can also do the second room, you kill it, and then you just leave, and then you join back in again. So extremely, extremely good way of making gold. And on that note, I also want to mention that if you have good gear, you should do Priory of the Sacred Flame. I also made a video about that. It's the same principle where you go into the dungeon, you clear out all of the mobs ahead of the first boss, and then you run back out again. But it's a tougher dungeon to do. It's more gear dependent. Like if you got bad gear, you're gonna make more gold running Dark Flame Cleft, and if you have a good gear, you're gonna be better off doing Priory of the Sacred Flame. It's also easier to manage dungeon lockouts doing Priory of the Sacred Flame. So those are like the first 3 farms that you can do that a lot of people are doing. And even though there is a lot of people doing it, and there's a lot of people who have been doing it for a very long time, it is still a very, very viable way of making gold. The only downside to it is that you need to have tailoring. Otherwise, the gold per hour isn't considered to be like good enough to actually do the farm. But I figure that since it's so easy to get enough knowledge points to actually do the farm efficiently, it is still considered a very easy, accessible farm to do. Now, the next one is something that I made a video about not too long ago, and the prices, a lot of people did it. A lot of people were super happy with that farming location, and then a lot of people did it, so the prices went down, but already now, prices are starting to go back up again. It's a farm that I've been doing myself personally for many years, and it's really, really good for two different things. And we're talking about, once again, doing a dungeon, this time in Legion, Eye of Azshara, and it's a skinning farm. So not a claw farm, you do need skinning for this one. You should also get the different ranks on storm scale, because that's the main item you're after, is storm scales from these guys. So you should get rank 3 storm scale. It just gives you more storm scales when you skin. But it's like, with the current prices right now, as I'm recording this, it's roughly 3,000 gold each run in storm scale alone. So you can do more than 10 runs of this as well if you got 2 tunes with skinning, because it doesn't take 6 minutes to do one run. So this is a very, very good farm. Now, I said 2 reasons to do this farm. One of the reasons is the storm scale from simply just skinning the mobs in here. The second one is that you're going to get the BOP material, Blood of Sargeras, which is needed for craft. So if you combine skinning with a crafting profession, let's say leatherworking, so you can craft the legendary boots that people use for speed set, you're in it for a good time. You're going to make a lot of gold doing this farm. And there's no real trick to it. You just don't kill any bosses. You run down to this area that I'm at right now with the big serpent boss in the middle, and you clear out all of the crab and hydra mobs around the serpent. But you don't go to the next boss, the giant, and the last boss of the dungeon, because there's no skinnable mobs in those locations. So once you've cleared out all of these crabs and hydras around the serpent boss, you're pretty much done with the run. Now, the location for that dungeon is in Azuna in Legion, and is located right here, Eye of Azshara. So that one as well is dependent on having a profession. Most farms are gonna be that when we're talking about solo farming, because if you don't have to rely on a profession, you're competing with everyone farming in a group, right? Because if you kill something to get a material, that's most likely going to happen in the open world, or have an open world version of it as well as a dungeon version. So you're competing against everyone farming it very efficiently in a group, and therefore the solo gold power tends to be lower. Now, the next one is a different profession, and that it would be none other than Molten Core, a raid that a lot of people have done ever since Collector's Bounty were introduced, because everyone wanted to craft the legendary mace, Hand of Sulfuras. And to do that, you need Blood of the Mountain and Dark Iron bars. So they were shooting up in value. Absolutely insane. Now, to be fair, you don't actually need any profession to do this. I know plenty of people who go Molten Core without any profession. They just focus on killing these big Molten Destroyer mobs, which has a chance at dropping the material Blood of the Mountain. But the Dark Iron bars that you get from mining the Dark Iron veins, they also sell for good gold, and you do have a chance at getting Blood of the Mountain while mining the veins. So it is going to be better. Some might argue that, and I haven't done the math on it, like some might argue that if you have a lot of characters on different realms, it's better to do way more runs of Molten Core, only killing the destroyers, rather than mining as well as killing the destroyers. But overall, it's a very, very steady way of making gold. I checked the prices now that Collector's Bounty was gone, and the prices, at least on EU, were actually up on the Blood of the Mountain, which is very, very interesting. But with that being said, though, that was 5 different gold farms that you can do in order to farm enough gold to be able to purchase a WoW token. All can be done solo. And it's all fast-selling materials that goes on a regional-wide auction house. Now, I could list like 20 more ways of solo farming in order to get a token. So if you guys want me to do like an episode 2, I guess, of this of something like this, let me know down below in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, make sure to do so, because that way you'll be notified whenever that video and any of my other videos goes live on YouTube. And if you already have the gold guide of the version of the game you're playing, you can consider signing up to the VIP Discord, because that does give you every single YouTube video before it goes live on YouTube, giving you a slight advantage. But you also get exclusive benefits in terms of gold tips. There's multiple spreadsheets for gold making, TSM groups and operations, and you can even get access to my investments for stuff such as player housing, upcoming patches, upcoming expansions, and much, much more. So make sure to check that out down below in the description, together with the gold guides. I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye-bye.